Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Benjamin's Perspective, where I share mine and sometimes others' perspective on a wide variety of topics with one goal in mind. Change your perspective, you can change your life. Now, let's get into today's episode. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Benjamin's Perspective. I'm here with a longtime friend, Marty Castillo is in the house.
Yes, sir.
Man, Marty and I would say at least 8 years.
A little longer than that. About 10 years,
Oh
bro.
my gosh.
Yeah.
So it's been about 10 years, and I'm gonna let him tell a little about himself. But man, I think there's a few things that I've always respected about you that I've liked. I remember you back in the day, and I've seen the changes that you've gone through. And I would say whenever I meet with somebody, and they always have some difficult things in their life they won't have to give up. One was the music, and there was a particular way you were making money. I'll let you tell about that. And that was a wrestle.
Yeah.
That was a wrestle, but man, you were willing to, especially having this lady in your life.
Yeah,
and I saw you make sacrifices. I've learned that if you want to tell how good a guy is doing, look at his significant other.
Definitely.
In the case if you marry. And I don't share that a lot, but if you want to know how a guy is doing, look at his wife.
No, I agree. To touch bases, on what you said.
Yeah.
The making money. I fortunately met a plug. Right? As I'm an electrician, I met a plug.
Yeah.
I became an outlet for this plug, which was selling weed. Pounds. Remember, I addressed, I was like, hey, man, is it okay if I tithe with this kind of money?
Yeah.
But no, that. And then along with that, I was in prison for a long time. And then when I paroled, I got into the rap game thinking I was going to make it to the top. I caught a little momentum, but with the rapping came the bad attention, and it just wasn't a good look for me.
Yeah. I remember some of them songs.
Yeah, for real. But fortunately, I met my wife.
Yeah.
Esperanza, and then she set me on the right path.
Yeah. I remember that too, because I remember a lot of the changes that you went through is because you had to take care of her. And you wanted to do things right, and going back to school and learning and just hustling, doing a couple of things.
Yeah, bro.
Sometimes getting a car, fixing it up, selling. So I think between seeing how you allowed the Lord to come in and change you, the hustle you had to take care of your family, and your wife being at peace.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was easy, but there's something about a man's wife or significant other being at peace, having a smile, making sure the things that she wants, you put her in a position to get.
Yeah.
To me, that says more about somebody's character, about their heart, than a lot of things.
No, definitely. And not to get it twisted, I put her through a lot, right? But
I remember some of those.
Yeah. But essentially what it comes down to is she started chasing God before I did, and then as she was chasing God, I kind of really wasn't feeling that, but I had met you, and then when I was a dishwasher, when I first started, once I paroled, I met Jahai. So Jahai was trying to, God loves you. I don't want to hear that, bro. I don't want to hear that, but he was on me.
Yeah.
And then you were on me. And then it just, the whole effect with my wife at the time, as a man, now you're supposed to lead the household, but she was kind of leading in that, getting me in the right direction, on the right path, but in doing so, I was making mistakes, things was happening. Life was life. And that's what my wife says. Life is life. And so that's what it was doing.
Life is life.
Yeah, bro. But fortunately now, after how long I've been out, like 14, 15 years now, right? Yeah. I've been out, didn't catch any violations. Now I'm pushing forward. Yeah. Now I'm on my own too, standing on business. You know what I mean? So now we're good. We're in a very solid position in life together.
Yeah. You said something that's interesting, because times are different now. The way men look at women and women look at men as far as responsibilities, roles, and stuff like that. And I've heard quite a few interviews or social media clips that, a lot of women was like, dude, you ain't pulling your weight. You got to go.
Yeah.
So what was that like? What was that like having a woman that is willing to take care of you while you figure things out?
That was a lot. I ain't gonna say
Yeah.
like, so first of all, you gotta put your pride in your back pocket because I
Yeah.
was freshly home after a 12-year prison bid. And she was the one like, hey, let's get you some clothes. Let's do this. Let's do this. Right. So I knew what it was like to be a man in prison. Right. You know, and that's like thuggish mentality. So when I came home, I'm trying to apply these notions that I
Mm.
learned in prison and it wasn't working.
Shit.
So she's like, look, this is what a man does out here.
Yeah.
Protects, provides, does X, Y, and Z. So I started leading by examples and she always told me, never settle, always gotta upgrade.
Yeah.
So I took that and ran with it. And she'll let you know. I'm all about the upgrades. So
One day I'm gonna be sending her invites to be in that seat so we can talk about anyway.
yes, sir.
Awesome, because I do think a lot of men have an incorrect perception of what it's like to be married.
Mm-hmm.
When the Bible says, like you were saying earlier, a man shall leave his mother and father, cling to his own wife, and the two become one. If you have a good spouse, the reality is each of you are going to go through things where the other one has to help carry the other one.
Yeah.
So having her start off getting you straight, if I could say it this way, has paid off dividends now in the long run.
Literally, I wouldn't be in this position in life if it wasn't for her.
Yeah.
I could say, I was all about my hustle or whatnot, but not the way I am now. Not even close.
Yeah.
Now she got what we had and multiplied that so many times over.
It's kind of like that saying, give a woman a house and she makes it a home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She multiplies everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
So-
I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, she definitely helped me along the way.
That's cool. What would you say because I got to imagine in prison, a lot of guys.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine there's too many guys that are talking about, man, you got to treat your woman right and this and that. I mean, even outside, you don't have.
Total opposite.
Yeah.
So in there, everybody thinks you're a player, you're a pimp, you're doing your X, X, Y, Z.
Dude,
That
you're a bunch of guys who you been a player with.
So that's what I'm saying, right? Like, oh, I got this one paying, my commissary, and this one's writing me, and this one's sending me pics, and this one's doing this. So, and there you adopt that mentality, like, okay, it's all on a girl, right? Transparency, it's all on a bitch, is what they would say. It's all on a bitch. Meaning you're coming home, she's buying you clothes, she's buying you food, she's taking you out, she's providing the household, she's doing that. And when I came home, I was like, bro, that's like weak. What the hell was I thinking, bro? Trying to listen to a bunch of guys that are in prison. Y'all far from being in touch. This is not it. Like this, we're not getting nowhere with these women out here. Like, let alone when I met my wife, she already had standards, bro.
Yeah.
Like, nah, bro, you gotta elevate your game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's super crazy because in there, like, we're so out of touch, right? You write whatever, right? That's just nothing. That's game or whatever, right? So when you come out here, you try to put all that in perspective. It doesn't work. It doesn't align up with the world out here.
One of the weirdest things that I experienced is I went to Germany in 1986 and I came back in 1989. Man, it felt like I missed some things. It was different. I remember, who was it? There was a rap group that came out just before I went over. Cube was part of it. I can't believe I don't remember the name.
Like Lynch Mob?
No, NWA.
NWA.
And it's not till the movie came out and I got to see the whole thing that it's like, oh man, I was overseas when they were just blowing up. Yeah. So I didn't know what was going on, but it was weird being in another country, coming back to home and feeling like, okay, this is weird. I don't belong here.
Some things, yeah.
So I can't imagine being inside, because even being overseas, at least I got to hang with other Americans and we would hang out with family. So you could hear stories and stuff, but being inside would be way different.
It was crazy. I seen everybody, like my whole family, right? I had a niece she was growing up. I had a daughter before I went in there. Still got a daughter, but whatever, right?
To
Just saying,
clarify.
yeah. I was watching them grow up through pictures and through
Yeah.
visits. And then mind you, when I was in there, I was, knucklehead. So I was always in the hole. So I was behind the glass, right?
Yeah.
So there's no physical touch there. There's nothing like that. So I seen my family members getting older, the kids growing up through pictures and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then there was a lot of letter writing and stress. So so in my mind, I try to conceptualize what it's like being out there, or what I try to hold on to a memory and try to reminisce on that and be like, oh, this is what it's like. I'm really not missing much. I'm just like on this temporary stay from
Yeah.
home type of deal. And then when I got home, whole other situation. Life was life, and
Life was life. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to remember that.
I never thought about that until she told me the other day.
Oh,
She said, "Life be life," and I
life be
said,
life.
"Life be life, and bro."
You got to be thinking about it.
Yeah, yes, sir.
It's almost like, okay, if I'm gonna run with this, you think about it, what it's gonna look like down the road. Did that start before? Were you always like that, or
I think I've always been like that, but in prison, you adopt a concept. It's called the STAR concept: stop,
yeah?
think, analyze, and react. That's
Stop, think, analyze, and
react.
react. Okay.
Yeah, so I applied that everywhere I went,
Yeah.
everywhere I go. Yeah,
Shoot, I like that. Stop, think, analyze, and respond.
yeah.
I like that because I can see it work for you because I've never really seen you panic.
Nah.
I've never really seen you freak out.
Yeah,
Stuff.
I'll panic if like she hurts herself or something.
Yeah, yeah,
But other than that, like if we're getting down, throwing hands or something, I don't
yeah.
panic. It's whatever.
So now I know part of what helps keep you calm because, like I said, I can't say I've ever seen you freak out. We've gotten mad at some stuff, but you
It's
know,
been chill. My journey on the outside. I've been out longer than I was in now.
okay. Oh,
12, 15 years out, right?
yeah.
15 years out, and I was incarcerated the full 12 years, so
How
over
old
a
were you when you
decade.
went in?
17, 18.
Oh, dude.
Came home
Okay,
when I was 30, and
man.
it was a wild one.
Okay, so you're
Mhm.
young. You were in those formative years where you kind of deciding who you're gonna become or learning to become a man.
Yeah. So I didn't even have facial hair when I went there. So some of my OGs had to teach me how to shave, bro. It was crazy.
What?
Yeah, I didn't have no facial hair, none of that.
I'm sorry, dude. That baby face.
Yeah. And
You're
then I
about
was
to be
like, oh
locked
yeah, I
up.
had to grow goatee, look like an OG, right? Well, never. I
Okay,
still can't even barely grow one.
okay. Tell the truth. Did you do any of that marker, the pencil on your beard?
Oh
That look
no,
like?
no, man, none of that, none of that. But my shit wasn't even coming out, bro. It was like barely still coming out. But now I got gray, but that's probably from my work. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So yeah, and
yeah.
dealing with my wife sometimes.
Oh, dude. Then I say no. I'm just saying. Look at my grade.
What they say, gray is wisdom.
Wisdom,
Yeah,
experience, and wisdom.
there it is, right there. That's the truth.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. This is experience and wisdom.
Mhm.
I've been through some stuff, but
Yeah.
think what I like is people have been through some shit.
Mhm.
Like you have a wider variety of experiences that you can connect with people.
Yeah.
And I think it brings a difference. You bring something different when you say, man, I've been through the same thing, or man, I know what you're going through. So that's cool. So, man, so what you been thinking about lately? What you been musing on? What's been going through your mind lately?
Work, right? So I'm an electrical project manager in Calusa. I work for Calusa Indian Energy as
Okay.
lead project management out there. So we got a few big projects that are not going away anytime soon. So I'm gonna
Okay.
be busy for like at least until retirement.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's solid. That's a good thing for some people. Like for me, it is, right? But I wanted to retire early, but it don't look like that's going to happen. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of work, bro. A lot of government grants going on with the tribe that I work
Mm-hmm.
for. My director is doing an awesome job. getting more work for all of us, locking us in, securing the workflow, the money, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's always good. So other than work, just dirt bikes and, just chilling with the wifey and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She dirt bike with you?
She don't do that.
No?
She's scared.
What?
She's scary.
Man, she's seen you ride long enough. She should be.
Hella scared.
You got like helmets, you got
Yeah.
elbow pads, you got
She,
knee pads.
she hella scared, bro. I mess it up for myself.
Okay.
So I don't know, like 8 years ago, I tried to get her on this quad. I said, "Don't worry, I'll go slow." I still was going slow, but in her head, we're doing like 90.
Oh,
We're
okay.
doing like 30 in real
Yeah.
life. But yeah,
So she's not doing that anymore.
no, she ain't doing that. But
Okay.
she could appreciate me doing that.
Yeah.
But that's it. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I
tell people, when I met Jody, I tell people straight up, I married up. I don't think anybody in my life has been around long enough to remember when I was a knucklehead.
Yeah.
Because I like to say these grays come from experience, but some of them is because I did it.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So you got out, started coming to church, you got your boo next to you. How did the Lord play a role in all of that transformation?
I'm gonna tell you, this is what happened. So when I got to Pelican Bay, I was in the security housing unit. I remember. So mind you, I went in as a believer, but literally like lost all faith when I got sentenced because the specific crime that I got charged for is something I didn't do. I was a part of it, but I didn't do it. So, I'm like, oh, God got me all this,
Yeah.
right? And then I got charged for it. I was like, what? No. Like, I'm done with this. So then I just started pushing into the gang life even harder than before. So it wasn't until I want to say 10 years down in my stretch, I was in the shoe in Pelican Bay. And I remember I was like, man, this shit getting old, right? So I'm like, look, if you really real, this is all I want. I want a wife. I want a son. That's it. I'll be fine with that, right? So I remember leaning into that and then becoming a believer yet again, trying to renew my faith and restore my faith, right?
Yeah.
And asking for that. So, I went through some crazy shit in there, mind you.
All right, you can't say that and not give at least one example.
So, let me see. Okay, so in regards to that, right? Sometimes I'd be like, what the fuck am I even here for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Trying to like, should I off myself? Like, there's crazy, you start thinking. So mind you, out of 12 years, I probably got 9 years in the hole. My last 6 years, I was validated as a gang member,
Yeah.
We don't get into politics, but I was validated.
Yeah.
Rolled active, right? Ain't nobody dropped out over here, bro. We pushing the hard line, standing on business. But that's neither here nor there, right? I'm just saying, because people get it twisted. That's kind of going out the weak way, no matter how you look at it, right? But when I was in there, bro, it's just crazy. And then sometimes like, bro, what the hell am I even doing? You know what I'm saying? And then you're in there for so long and there's zero human to human contact. Sure, we'll say if my wife was there, right? She'll keep me sane, that I'll be able to see her as often as she can make it out.
Yeah.
A 5-hour drive.
Yep.
So my grandma was there, my aunt was there. I got to see my daughter off and on, maybe like twice when I was up there my last few years. I see my niece and nephew, like a handful of times, right? It's far away. Can't expect them to be there. But my grandma and my family was thugging it out. This was right before I met my wife. So I had some crazy thoughts for a minute, then I just snapped out of it and paroled, and then lo and behold, 72 hours later, I met my wife, she had a son, he became mine, and that's what happened.
See, this is a funny thing about people. He went from getting out to 72 hours, but what happened in between there? Like, how'd you meet her? He just jumped from I was in the hole for 9 years, got out for 3 years, justified, met my wife, met my son. There's some feeling that.
So when I got out, I don't know, I was hanging out at home, my sister. So that's the thing. You got the mentality of, it's all on a bitch. Like, let's work the government, let's do all. So I had that mentality. So I went straight to Social Security, trying to get SSI.
Yeah.
That's why I met her. So this is what happens. This is 3 days after I got out. So I remember I'm waiting in line. This is exactly how it happened. I'm sitting down. Me and my sister went to the line. We got our number, whatever, how they do it, right? And then door opens. Literally, her and my son come through the door, air blowing in her hair in the air. She's licking the ice cream. I said, what the? Like, mind you, I never seen this woman ever in my life. It was like the baddest woman ever in my life, right? Licking the ice cream, like the movie, right? It was like slow motion. I told my sister, I said, I'm gonna marry her. And then it was a wrap. I had to snatch her up.
What?
She ain't had no get backs at all. And I told her, this is what I told her. I said, so to be honest, I ain't the one that got her phone number. My sister did for me because I was like, oh, fuck that. I ain't gonna go talk to her. I don't know. You know, I never had that interaction with a real woman. You know what I'm saying? Like a woman.
Yeah.
Because I was young when I was out here.
So you were messing with girls. Yeah. Man, this is different.
So my sister, oh yeah, here it is. Bam. So I hit her up. You know, things went the right way they were supposed to. But I was like, if she had a boyfriend, I was gonna be like, I'm gonna run her over. And then when the cops come, be like, oh, I gotta go with her. I feel so bad. And then I'm gonna get her like that. But one way or another, yeah, bro. Like one way or another, I'm gonna have her in my life. That's all there is to it. And so yeah, bro, me and her just ended up together. I mean, it was one of the most perfect relationship, but it ended up getting better and better, and now it's great. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's nice. My man said the hair was blowing and she had her ice cream.
Yeah, bro, it was like a whole ass movie. I was like slow motion. I said, what?
The thing I like about that is a lot of times we think that when we meet, everything's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
And I heard somebody say there's no such thing as two people that are made for each other. You're made into each other.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful when people stick with it so they can be made into what the other person's need.
Definitely.
And the other thing I like is as each of you grow, I was telling somebody, like, to me, this is the beautiful thing about marriage is I knew Jody when she was just married to me, but then I got to learn another side of her once we had a kid.
Yeah.
Then we got to learn another side of her as she went through different jobs. Then she was totally different when she was in school. Then she's a different Jody now that we're homeowners. So if you're willing to stick it through, you get to learn an aspect of somebody that they didn't know. She didn't know who she was until she became a homeowner. Definitely. Or until she was a mom. So it's cool that you guys have stayed together through the ups and downs and to learn, really understand, because when you go through shit, you really get to see who.
Oh yeah, bro, definitely. Like, we've been through some shit, like 100%. And the woman I'm married to now isn't the same woman I met 15 years ago. You know, she's grown into such a beautiful person and such a beautiful woman, bro. Like she keep on elevating herself. She had her own struggles. I was there for those. She was there for my struggles. She was there for my shortcomings. I mean, and then like I said, bro, she gets this harvest and multiplies it even more so. So now we're doing better than, bro, what I could ever imagine, honestly, bro. We'll just talk about this. Coming from 12 years in prison to what are we doing now? It's crazy. Hey, bro, I'm favored, homie. Straight up. That's why I tell people I'm favored by the Lord, homie.
Heck yeah. He that finds a wife, finds a good thing, and has obtained favor from the Lord. And I used to think that the favor would be when I meet a wife, great things would happen, and they do. But for the longest time, I missed the fact that having the wife is God's favor.
Yeah.
And I missed that for many years. And once I started to understand, it's like, oh, I'm looking for all the external things, but the wife is the favor. God has favored me because he brought this woman into my life.
Yeah. And
I think men miss it if they don't see how their woman can elevate them.
Yeah, bro. That's behind every great man lies a great woman, right? So that's always been true in my case, in my particular situation. Some men will take it for granted. I took it for granted before. You know what I'm saying? But here I am, and now we're stronger than ever. You know what I'm saying? And not only her, but my son as well, right? Like that was a learning curve, 100%.
17 to lock up, being a dad.
And now my son's 20 years old. He's living his best life right now. He's working full time. He's making his
Yeah.
bread. He's driving his little whip, and he got
Yep.
this girl. And
Yep.
now life's liking him. I'm
Yep.
like, how you like that, bro? All the shit you put me and mom through, you going through all this right now. Bills and all this, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But he helped me mature myself and become a better man as well.
Yeah.
So I gotta give it up to my son. Shout out
Yeah.
to Salome.
I can tell you, so with my 4 older boys, I messed up.
Okay.
The oldest 2, I wasn't there. The second 2, mom and I got divorced. So Jaden is the first of my sons that was with me from birth until graduating. So all
Damn.
of this now, like being part of the engagement, meeting his girl, like all of this is brand new for me. I'm about to be 60 in a couple weeks. I'm experiencing this for the first time. And now, having gone through that, now with Zion is even experiencing a different part of me because of what I gone through. Because, so to speak, Jaden was I want to say the practice one, but I got to practice the do's and the don'ts. So Zion has the benefit of Jaden making me into a better man.
More of the do's.
And I tell people, I'll never forget what blessed me was on his graduation day. We at Chico High, and he graduated. You know how it is, like you graduating, you want to be with your friends and all of this.
Yeah.
And as much as I was happy that he graduated, the thing that blessed me the most is the first thing he did is came over and gave us a hug.
Yeah.
Whereas you
That's
hear so
awesome.
many people and their teenagers, like, I'm like, no, dude, he came and he gave me a hug and wished him well. And then, he went to be with his friends.
Oh yeah.
That's the part I remember.
That's dope. That's like the best feeling ever. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And even though he's in his 20s, like he still let me play, in his hair because I ain't got none. So he still bend over and let me like play in his hair and stuff like that. So that's cool. So Zion gets the benefit now from all those experiences.
Definitely.
So then you made it to the church we used to go to. What did God start doing in your life?
From the previous church we were going to?
No, yes. Because that's really, I think that's where we met.
That was the stomping grounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that kind of sparked everything in me, right? And then, me and my wife are going there consistently, I jumped on the security team.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was you, right? It was you that recruited me, and it was just like straight up like, hey bro, I'll doing this in the pen, bro.
Yeah.
Like we could figure out a few things, and from there that church had its own little situation.
Yeah.
And then I feel like me and my wife kind of took a break from going to the physical church for a little bit until, she was adamant about going to Promise. Because we did go to Promise a few times when it was in multiple locations as it was growing, right? Before it locked in a spot for itself. And then, we just started going back to Promise and pushing for. And then moving forward in my faith, right? Promise had a lot to do with that as well. Pastor Jose and Vivian, they're badass, bro. 100%.
100%.
Like I was like, they be bringing it, then we get you up there, Jahai, we get Jody up there. And it's so cool that there's an array of people that are able to go up there. It's not like, hey, this is the only up there and he's special. I don't give a damn about none of all that. Let's get everybody up there and let them all shine, because everybody brings different things. Staying ready.
We got to.
Yes. I was thinking about that though, but I was like, I gotta learn more of the Bible, bro. Like, so I could spit, I could spit what's in my heart and what's on my mind and how I interpret certain things and verses and books from the Bible. But I feel like I still got a lot more learning to do, honestly. You know what I mean? But it's a promise, bro. Promise. It's God, my wife, promise, the whole, the collective, the whole, it takes a village, life, whether it's pertaining to raising children or raising Christian men and women and children. You know what I mean?
I'm going to change for a little bit. We're going to talk about November, because I want to do a men's conference in November, Friday evening, and then Saturday morning to like 12 at 1. Friday probably be 1 session, and then maybe 3 sessions on Saturday. We'll talk about that. But yeah, the last church was an interesting experience. I appreciated you having you on a security team
Yeah.
because you showed us you showed us something. One of the things I'll always remember, and I still do, there was 3 or 4 places. Like when you're watching somebody, you check these places. You look at them and check.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then we had another guy. I think it was Matt was on there.
Yep, Matt was up on there.
So dude, what's next?
The
What do
big
you think
play.
is next?
Okay. Like input and like give me a little bit more.
Whatever you feel like sharing.
What's next for me and my wife is I don't know. We're probably gonna go, enjoy ourselves in Cancun or something. But other than that, like we house shopping, we doing things. Things have kind of changed for us, right?
Yeah.
Because I was talking to you outside
Yeah.
your house a little bit. We had a plan. I did kind of, right? Like I had a general plan.
Because you're a thinker.
Yeah. But let me tell you what happened in my plan though. I had a plan, and it just that got thrown out the door.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, this is what happened, right? It started 3/26/24. My aunt, who I call my sister, passed away, and she raised me. Her and my grandma raised me. But before she passed, me and her and my wife and my uncle are talking about what we're gonna do when grandma passes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we're gonna do when grandma passes. She don't pass. She did not. My aunt passed. My uncle last month had a stroke. He's in rehab. My grandma's between her home in Hamilton City and me and my wife. For some reason, everything just gets handed to me and my wife, right? Like now we got all this extra additional responsibility. We got to take care of my uncle. He's paralyzed, done, left side, done, gone. There's that. My grandma's 87.
Oh man.
She can't take care of him
No.
by herself. He can't take care of himself. We got family, right? But who really wants to take those responsibilities? It just happens like God's like, hey, here you go. So now that's what we're doing.
Okay.
So our whole thing is finding our footing on this particular situation because it's so sensitive. You know what I mean?
When it comes to taking care of people and their properties. And I told you before, dude, I think when you shared that, I felt like God is preparing you for something. I don't know what, because it's interesting when Jesus chose his disciples, all of them were doing something and they were doing it for a while. So they all had experience in being faithful and being consistent. And you've shown your consistency, you've shown your faithfulness, but you've also shown, you've also have grown.
Yeah.
And I think that when we look at the Lord and trusting people with something, like the fact that you care, the fact that you're able to handle taking care of the property and your family and helping out with that, and then you have a helpmate, if you will, a wife that's willing to help you with that. It's like, I just got to wonder, what is God setting you up?
I have no clue, but it's gonna be big. Cause look, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'll tell my wife sometimes, why everybody asks me for help? Why can't I get help? I need help sometimes. And she said, you want to know what she said? She said, be fortunate that God says you're not the one that needs the help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be fortunate that it's not you asking other people for X, Y, or Z.
Yeah.
Be fortunate it ain't you that needs it.
Yeah.
So in that position, in that perspective, I feel blessed that I'm able to do it.
Yeah.
Although sometimes I want to say it's reluctant, right? But then it says that, you can't be reluctant in doing these things.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. There's few, I should say few men that I meet. It's not like I know a bunch of guys that locked up, but I would say being released, the odds are stacked against you that you would be where you are now.
Yeah.
And no doubt your lovely wife had a part in it. No doubt the Lord had a part in it, but you had to say yes to those.
Yeah.
You had to like, okay, I hear what you're saying. You had to be humble. You had to be willing to change. You had to be willing to grow. And I think those are the things that better characterize a man, if you will, than staying the same and finding blame. Because you had every reason to blame the system. You were unjustly incarcerated, accused unjustly. So you had every right to be bitter, to be angry, and be justified at it. So when I say that the things that I respect about you is
Mm.
also take into account you were justified in being angry and blame shifting and all of
Oh,
that. And I think that you're a testimony to men of is not so much what you were dealt. What are you gonna do?
yeah, definitely. We all got the same 24 hours, bro.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like, maybe I felt that way for a little bit. Nah, man, it's what you
Yeah.
do with your time,
Yep.
honestly. And you gotta stand on business, put your best foot forward, and move forward.
Exactly.
Set goals and smash them. You know, whether they're small goals or big goals, bro. You gotta want it.
Yeah.
You know what I
De-
mean? You don't have to want it. You have to go after it. And I never settled. My wife actually is the one that said, "Always gotta upgrade." So if you gotta upgrade, that means every perspective of life. You
Yep.
gotta push forward, move
Yep.
forward, right?
Yep.
Stagnant person's gonna stay there.
Yep.
I ain't doing that, bro.
Yeah.
I got too much. I got things to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And fortunately and unfortunately, I have expensive habits. So full throttle, bro. There's no in
Yeah.
between. There's no in between.
Yeah.
If you're in that position, I feel sorry for you because somebody
Yeah.
else won't get it. They said the early bird gets the worm,
Yeah.
bro.
It's true.
Yeah.
Because I think what people miss is not just if you're standing still, time moves forward. So you're not just standing still, you're moving backwards
Yeah.
because time is moving forward.
And you still there.
Yeah.
I ain't
And you're
gonna
just
do it.
watching things go by. I remember when I was in the wireless industry, I always remember like when text messaging came about, and there were always people like, why don't they call me? Just pick up the phone and call me and all of this. And I used to be like, hey, sometimes you may be at work and you can't answer the phone. A text is good. They were like, no, just call me. And then you know what happened? The grandkids, the only way they can communicate with their grandkids was text.
Yeah.
So they had to force to learn because they were being left behind.
Yeah.
And their grandkids weren't talking or calling,
Yeah.
but you text them, you get a response. So to say what you're saying is like, you got to keep moving forward. And I think what I'm thinking for the men's conference, it'd be nice if you had a segment to really explain to men what that looks like. Like, okay, I was dealt this. Praise God, I had somebody in my life to help, but this is what I did with it.
Yeah.
And that would be a great. I have a group of guys that are. I told them straight up, if you want me to do ministry, I'm good, but we got to plan fun events. That's not my strength. No, I was like, we're gonna do this day.
Yeah.
Then you set up the invites, the food, you do all that stuff because But it'd be nice to have a session where you can talk about what that looks like. To take what life has thrown you. If life be lifing,
Life be life.
then how you be life? Because life is not a respect of person. It happens to all of us.
Right.
Now, what you gonna do with it?
Definitely. We all got struggles, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through the same. Goes through things.
Yes.
Right? Everybody goes through things. That's how you deal with it as you go through things.
Exactly.
That's
Rita
the best way
Marley
to
has
say
a
it.
song. Says one of the lines says, "Every man thinks his burden is the heaviest because he feels the pain."
Mm.
And I think too often you may go through something and I may go through something, and maybe to you it's a little harder. It may look harder for me, but what I'm not realizing is what you're going through, you're designed to handle that.
Yeah.
Just like me, maybe less, but both of us are feeling that pain because we're the ones going through.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I think that if we're in an environment where we realize like, yo, I'm not going through the same thing that you're going through, but man, mine still sucks.
Yeah.
So it'd be good. But yeah, we talk about that. It'd be nice to have a session where we can have you just real.
Yeah, bro. Definitely. I'm down for that.
Yeah, it'd
Just
be
let
good.
me-
Cool. Man, anything else on your heart you want to talk about?
Just shouts out to my family, bro, and thank you
Yeah.
for having me on here.
Oh, for sure.
I was a little nervous. I ain't never been interviewed before. I told my wife, man, what am I gonna say? What you gonna say? But it was a good session, bro.
Well, I'm trying to do this with people that I know we just, so I'm learning to interview, and like I
Definitely.
said, you my second one. The
That's
first
dope.
one I did, my phone got full, and I ain't telling me yet, but I was transferring some of the videos off of my phone, and I actually accidentally deleted the recording.
Well, he know now.
Now.
He know now.
Bring him back. I'm like,
That's
dude, we
wild,
have
bro.
to do this again because
Wow.
I'm learning too, but I do know that I love conversations.
That's
I do
cool.
know that. And I think I've gotten good at just having open and honest
That's a
conversations with
comfortable
people.
space here too.
Yeah.
That's comfortable space.
So,
super chill, comfortable space.
yeah.
Nothing's forced. You're very good at what you do.
Thank
You
you.
know what I mean? So yeah, bro.
Yeah.
It's good being on here.
Cool. Well, like I said, we're gonna have your girl come through sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe we talk about something else and she come through for about just a 5 minute, just come in the camera and said, "Hey,
She'll be
I'm the one
good.
Marty was talking about."
Yes.
I
One.
appreciate you,
I
dude.
appreciate it, bro.
I
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
Always remember, change your perspective, change your life.